Hey planner babes, welcome back to another brand new video. I'm so excited that you guys are here today. If you want to follow me, you can do so on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok using @PlannerGoAmy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another brand new video from me. Let's get into the video. Planner babes, welcome back to another plan with me here on my YouTube channel. It's actually a budget with me, and we're going to be budgeting for the month of March. So this one is going to be actually a little bit more in depth than February's, because for February's I didn't actually have an idea because I was still in. So basically, here's the tea. When did it happen? I don't remember already. Happened in January. Yes, it happened in January that I got a promotion at work. So I went from being just a regular team member to being a replenishment manager, and that was going into effect like the first full week of February. But I was still that first full week of February I only worked 2 days. Just because there was still overlap with the previous manager, and I took some time off for my birthday, and that time off actually I had like still vacation time but not vacation money, but I still took the time off anyway around my birthday, and that was perfectly fine for me. But so I didn't 100% know what my income was going to be for February, but going forward I'm going to have consistent income because I'm working full time. So I'm going to be able to do better budgeting because I'm going to know what my monthly income is going to be. It's going to be the same like every month. So for March, I'm still kind of working on an approximate because I just did some rough calculations. Basically, my last paycheck, I was all under the same hourly rate, which was really good because obviously when you do move up from being a regular team member to a manager, there is a pay bump. I won't discuss that on here for just various reasons. It's more like personal. But so I am going to be sharing what the monthly income is though on here. Like, I have an approximate. Basically I did my calculations, I figured out, with time and hours and things like that. And so I'm going to have my iPad here with me because I need a calculator, and I'm using my phone to film. So I am gonna keep my iPad with moi. And sometimes I forget that the iPad doesn't have a calculator because I downloaded a calculator app for my iPad that is basically really similar to the one on the iPhone. It looks like this. It just has ads, and I forget. And then people are like commenting how the iPad doesn't have a calculator app. And I agree. Why does it not have a calculator app? Because they want the iPad to be a computer so much, but like your computer has a calculator on it, so I don't get why the iPad doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna start by writing in. Well, again, this is an approximate, so I'm gonna put like the about symbol just so like it's kind of clear. So we're gonna be working with this page. I'm not gonna put the date. I'm not gonna put like income 1 or income 2. I'm just gonna put it in income 1 and just kind of put no date. It's gonna be total, so it's going to be I'm just gonna write the total right now, and I could like end up writing it out and then break it down at the end of the month. But at the end of the month of March, I will have a full understanding, or at least in my first paycheck in March, I should have an understanding, I think. Yeah, my first paycheck in March should be when I have a better understanding. So my first paycheck in March will include this current week that just passed. And that week I worked 5 days full time, as well as next week. So yeah, let's do the approximate. I'm still doing the approximate symbol. I wrote down because I did some calculations. So I wrote down. I'm not gonna write down to the penny because it's like, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so for right now, for the month of March, this is what I'm going to work with. And I saw a couple of videos and I kind of agree. I saw one video that says that basically every dollar should be going somewhere, whether it's like savings or but it should have a place to go. It shouldn't just be sitting there. And I kind of agree, and that it can work, but it's not always how I may budget. Some months I may feel like I want to do that, and for some, if I feel like I'm putting enough into savings, I'm budgeting enough elsewhere, then having the extra money, like, it can go into savings, but I also don't feel like it doesn't always have to. I feel like you can have money that just sits in your checking account, but if you're inclined to like spend that money just because it's sitting there, then I would maybe go with the method of everything should have a home. So I'm going to, I don't use every category, but the categories I do use, they do have a color associated with it. So I'm going to put the stickers to those categories. So we're going to start with rent, which I think we're going to keep the same. So rent is aka housing. And then food is green. I feel like groceries and food is a very like green color. Other is just going to be black because I didn't really have an other category. Or not other, but personal is black. Personal is where I do like write down my RSP and TFSA contributions. I don't use this side, but yeah. Okay. Transportation is purple. I don't know. I like will remember it, but I still check anyway. I'm like, eh. And then entertainment is blue. So I'm gonna go with, I normally go with the other blue, but hey, I normally go with like, I think this one, but we're gonna do this one today. I feel like it's, and then other is, pink. And I think last time I did color in one color for like personal. I think I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna kind of let that dry a bit before I. Did I kind of rip up the paper? Just a little, but we'll let it dry a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna look at what my rent was for February. I'm just checking. Yeah, I thought it was $450. I haven't actually tracked at all in the month of February in my budget planner, I'm pretty sure. I have to get back to doing that, yeah. So I'm gonna I don't know why my pens are doing this to me. I am fine. For some reason, a lot of pens don't like to write in the Happy Planner in the Happy Planner page, or they don't know why. They love to make indents in the page, but like not right. Okay, so yeah. Wow. I am just like, wow, I just stopped. My brain just like stopped and like wrote this and then stopped. Yes, so rent is 500, and if you're thinking, oh, this is really cheap, that's because I live at home with my mom, and so that's why it's so cheap. But if I were not living at home and I were living on my own, it would be way more expensive. Even if I were to rent a place and have a roommate, it would still be way more expensive. So I live at home, and that's what makes my rent so affordable. And I started paying rent quite a few years ago, and it was me that insisted on starting to pay rent. So, or me that like brought up the idea. And it started really cheap with like $70 a month. And then as I made more and as time went on, I've contributed more. And so that's why it is. And now that I'm going to be making more, we are eventually going to be evaluated, probably for April. It will be different because after March we'll have like a full understanding of like my monthly income. It'll be consistent. So then for April and stuff like that, it'll probably be higher, but that's what it is for right now. And then I'm going to write fixed stuff right now. So like monthly things I'm paying for that have like a fixed expense. So things like streaming services, music streaming services, car insurance, things like that. So I'm gonna write down car insurance. Okay. Next we are going to do Disney Plus. I'm gonna like be flipping back and forth, and I know it could, you know what? We're just gonna pull the page out. Let's make life easier. Not continuously flip back and forth. And I'll just put it back in after. See, look at this. The pens, they don't. I feel like this pen has got something that's like in it. I don't know why so many pens just like don't like writing in the Happy Planner pages. These ones have no problem. The Jelly Roll, which is like more like a liquid ink, but like the Paper Mate or any of the ones that are more of like a that kind of go on as like more of a dry ink, they just don't like to work. But the Jelly Roll, like this one is a non-smudging one, but any pen that like will smudge to like a second after you put it on, or like even 2 or even 3 seconds after you put it on, those ones, they will write on here perfectly fine. But the ones that don't smudge at all, they just don't like to write. And I've been realized I've just been silent as I've been writing this. I don't know. video is already 14 minutes and we haven't even gotten into like the meat of it. I just realized I wrote the wrong number one. Let me fix it. I literally don't know why. Okay, so next we are going to take all of these, which are, oh, and I also have something else too, this month as well. This is gonna go in, I think I'm gonna put it in personal too. So I do want my RSP contributions and my TFSA contributions to be at the top, but, and I'm gonna put tax contribution because I'm going to get money back, for my car fund as well. So, I'm gonna explain it. So I'm gonna put 3 at top. I'm not gonna fill them out. And then at the bottom of the 3 is where I'm gonna put another fixed income for this particular month, and I'll explain it. So, and if you're not Canadian, RSP is retirement. I'm actually gonna look up, give me a second. I'm gonna look up what it means. What does RRSP mean? It stands for Registered Retirement Savings Plan. It's a Canadian thing. I don't understand it completely on the American side, but I believe RSP is the Canadian equivalent, I want to say, of a 401k. I think 401k has to do with retirement, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Nothing like finding out that like half of your video got zoomed in. I use my watch as like my control, and like, and so when I'll show you an example. When I move this, it like zooms in. See? And I guess it must have been open on the camera app, and I must have like touched this and it zoomed it in. And like half of my video, I'm really disappointed on that. So this is a split video, and I wrote down everything in the video as I was talking. And I thought this was going to be a great informative video, and it was kind of long, about 35 minutes. And so I know where I left off because I looked at it and I saw where it started zooming in. So I left off at RSP. I was writing down my RSP contribution, my TFSA contribution, but I hadn't written down the amounts yet because I was talking about fixed expenses. So yes, we are going to talk about that. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to this. So I was starting to write RSP contribution, TFSA contribution, car fund, and then custom insoles. And then I was writing the amount for the custom insoles, which is $160. So I'm going to talk about fixed expenses this month. So the custom insoles are not going to be fixed expense that you'll see in the next month, but they are for this month because it's just what I know. And so my fixed expenses are the rent, the car insurance, Disney Plus, Apple Music, Fitness Plus, as well as the custom insoles. So that all totaled to $813 and 70 cents. So then I took that out of my approximate monthly income, which is $2,308. That's like based off of some calculation, which left me with 1,494.3, which I was partially doing the method of everything has a place to go, where I was trying to put what I felt was a comfortable amount in different places, but also at the same time, I did not mind having a remaining balance. So there are a couple methods, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, where you can attribute a spot to everything. So if you have leftover money after budgeting for groceries, gas, entertainment, and non-essentials, then you would put like the remainder in your TFSA, or like, which is TFSA stands for tax-free savings account, which basically means you're not taxed when you put the money in, and you're not taxed when you take the money out, unlike your RSP, which you can take your money out before retirement age. It's just you will be taxed on it because it will be considered as income that you've earned that year. Because when you're putting money in your, let's say you put $100 in your RSP, I believe the way it works is that they take $100 off of the money you've earned that year. Like, let's say you put so you put $100 every month, which would mean you've contributed $1,200 in a year. So that would mean that they would take off $1,200 from the income that you've earned, from the taxable income that you've earned, and so their taxable income becomes smaller. And so that's why I believe that's how it works, if I'm accurate, which is why I believe then you later on in life will get taxed on it when you do take it out. So you're taxed on it at any point when you take it out. It's just that ideally you only take out this money when you go to retire. So I'm going to do a more breakdown because I don't like the fact that it was zoomed in, but I did have good talking points. But I think I can, now that I actually have written it down, I can talk in a much quicker and more hopefully concise way, so that my video is not like 35 minutes long. So basically I kind of had already done a sample budget when I had gotten a promotion at work, because I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, and I was being really generous with because I didn't know how many taxes would be taken off. Like, I didn't want to figure out the math of how much tax would be taken off every month of my paycheck. So I decided to do like a really generous approximate, where I took off like a ton of taxes just to be on the safe side. And so I did some calculations based off of because I haven't done a full, I haven't had a paycheck yet that has reflected me working all 10 days. So that's why, again, I'm working with an approximate amount that I feel like will probably be pretty close. And this is with taxes taken off, which I'm hoping will be pretty close. Well, this is what I'm working with. And so when I took this number and I took off our expenses of, like I said, $813.70 of our like fixed expenses for this month, it left us with $1,494.30. And so in my sample budget, I had already done $70 for gas, which I feel like is pretty good. It does leave wiggle room if I do end up using a little bit more gas, do end up going somewhere that is going to consume more gas, if I end up going a little bit further out than I normally do. I feel like that's a pretty good amount. Because I would, that's like I think a decent amount. And then I decided to up my, this is food. So Maxi is a budget grocery store that I go to, and then Costco. So I decided to up each of these by $50 to give myself, some breathing room. And then at the end of the month, when, I can total up how much I spent at these places, and then figure out if this was too high, too low, and we shall reevaluate. But I'm always probably going to leave wiggle room for options, because I'm not gonna probably eat the same thing all the time, and so leaving wiggle room for different ingredients to cost more money will be important. But let's just say if I Costco, I find that like, oh look, this past month I spent $200 in total at Costco, then I am gonna leave this like that. Whereas if I say, oh, I spent $249 at Costco, then I am going to up this just to give myself more room so that I can breathing room when I do buy different ingredients. So I decided to do $300 for groceries at my regular groceries, and then $250 for Costco, just because I buy some things. I buy for myself only. Anytime I buy for my mom, it is a separate bill, and she always pays me back for it, so I don't include that in my budget. But my budget is generous because sometimes I will buy ingredients that are a bit more expensive just because I want to make a fun recipe, and also there are some ingredients that are more pricier, but because I really like how they taste, and things like that, so I will splurge the money to buy them. Like, I buy chicken at Costco that is expensive. It's like $18.99 a box. But I do really like it, and I think it's really good, and it's the best crunchy chicken, crunchy breaded like chicken that you can find for at home. So yeah, so I did 300 and 250, which I felt was good. And I also, so this is personal. I included my church tithing because I tithe to my church every week, which is $10.61, because I'm technically tithing $10 and then I'm covering 61 cents, which is the fees for the tithing. So you have the option when you're tithing. I do a reoccurring, so it automatically takes it out. But when you're tithing, you can do it each time, your own amount, or because I'm choosing to have it come out all the time, like every week, without me having to do anything, you have the option to either cover the fees or not. So I choose to cover the fees just because, like, I think that's what's fair for my church. So that is how much that is how much per month that I'm tithing to my church. And then, like I said, custom insoles, this was part of a fixed. This is fixed too, but I hadn't calculated that in my fixed because I just like completely forgot that is something I could put in this little budget page. The car fund is blank because I'm going to be filing my taxes. This is for the month of March. We are still in February. I'm going to be hopefully finalizing and submitting my taxes, at the end of, like, in the next few days or at the beginning of March. So hopefully some point in March maybe is when I will get back. I'm supposed to get some money back from the both federal and provincial government, which would be about, like, I'm gonna say roughly about $4,000. That's why I don't have a number here, because I don't know what exactly will be. And I've decided that all of that money is going to go into my car fund, which, an explanation on what my car fund is. My car fund is basically because I currently have a 2013 Ford Fiesta. It's working great. It's in great condition. But the reality is that it is a 2013 car and it's not going to last me forever. So when I do eventually need a new car, I want to make sure that I have the money set aside, and that I'm not feeling like, oh my goodness, this is an expense that I'm unprepared for. I want to be as prepared as I can be for it. So that is why I am going to, now that I'm in a new position where I'll be making a little bit more, I want to put more money aside. So I want to put some money into a car fund, which this month I'm not contributing any of my own money from my job income. I'll be contributing money that I am going to be getting from my tax returns. So that money should come in. I will potentially write it there, and then that exact amount is what you'll see here as well. But in a normal month, it would be about $100 as well. So it would be an even $300 going into different savings. $300 into $100 into car fund, $100 into my TFSA, and $100 into my RSP, because I also do believe in preparing for my retirement. And then I also budgeted as well about $100 for non-essentials. And after totaling all of this up, this left me with a remaining balance of $531, which, depending on how you choose to budget, you can choose to, again, put that money in savings so it has a place. Some people, that's how they say that you should budget. I am not going to put it in a place currently, but if I do feel like I want to at the end of the month, I can put that into my TFSA, and it can go toward a trip fund or whatever. So yeah, so my goal is to hopefully, I haven't really written anything down. I haven't tracked my expenses in a while. I don't know if I did at all in the month of February. Maybe I did. Yeah, no, I didn't. So I will be going back to doing that this month, and I'm going to look at where my expenses were and see if at the end of the month I am at this number. And if I am close to this number, then I'll be glad. And if I'm not, I'm going to look and reevaluate and see if there were any issue that I should be working on. And if there were none, and I'm still good, as long as I'm not in the negative, my remaining will all be good. But the goal is to just see at the end of the month if these numbers have to be readjusted. And yeah, that's basically it. So this is all for the budget video. I'm sorry that, like, part of it is cut off and you didn't see me write, like, most of it in, but I hope that this was informative for you. And if it was, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you budget. How do you budget? How do you do it differently? What works for you? I have heard of cash stuffing in envelopes, and I don't do that because I pay everything on my credit card to get cash back. So that I would not do and would not work for me. I just feel like this is something that would work for me, and this is what I want to do. So yeah, that is all for this video. You can follow me at PlanAgoAmy on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and see you in the next one. Bye.